everyone. So Kathy and I would like to share the benefits of working with this new journal, Accelerate Your Leadership Impact.
Kathy,
Hmm.
give me 3 benefits of
All right.
working with this journal.
So I think the first one would really be around self-exploration. It gives you the opportunity to kind of crack open and, if not examine, re-examine all of those pieces about leadership that have made you successful, and then be at choice with where you want to go with those.
Yeah.
Which ones are you going to choose first to accelerate? How about one from you?
Well, I think one of the greatest benefits is tapping into your soul. Like, I just believe that leaders bring their heart, mind, and soul to whatever they do. And we talk a lot about the mind. There's more discussion about the heart, but we forget sometimes that leaders bring it all, right? It's like they open it up and drop it out for everyone. And so I think it's a way to tap into the soul, to understand who you are and who you've evolved to where you become. Because oftentimes leaders, you go through life and you kind of move on and stop and kind of go, now, why was I doing all this? Or what's so important to me? As you and I both know, when we're coaching executives, especially those that are in mid-career, we've had conversations where they've said, I've got the best house. My kids are doing awesome. They all have their own cars. We've got a pool in the background. We take great vacations, and I've got a great title and great salary. And I don't know why I'm so unhappy. And it's because we've kind of lost touch with the soul and the values of who we are. So this, it doesn't mean you have to change your job or leave your job. It just means you need to reconnect and understand who that is. So I think that's a benefit of what this journal does. Especially I think where we've gotten kind of lost in the messiness of the pandemic. So that's another benefit. What about you, Kathy? What's another benefit as far as you see it?
Sharing your story. It's really, really important to get really clear on what your story is, and we all have stories. And then sharing that, it just makes you more human. And the more you do that, the more accepted you are. And that just opens the door for all sorts of opportunities for you. Connection is huge, that human element, that connection. And I think now more than ever, people crave that.
Yeah.
That's part of why we are where we are as far as people's mental health status during this pandemic. So I really believe that sharing is huge, and we can help you through that process, because it's not easy, and it is a process. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with it, the more you see the impact of that, the more willing I think that you're able to do it, and then also the leaders that you lead. So, yeah.
So I would add on as another benefit, you have 2 authors who come from a world of experience. And I mean a world of experience. Been in global organizations, worked with a number of different leaders, leading different teams. Between the 2 of us, we have over 50 years of experience, right? And that means something, especially when you've been in the environments that we've been in. And we came to the table to do this not because we thought it would be nice to do or thought we'd be fun to do. Well, we did think it would be fun, but that wasn't the motivation. The motivation that we stepped into this with is like, look, we know that leaders need something now, right? Everyone's looking for something, and some leaders are some people are finding their path with alcohol or food or binge watching television, these terrible other addictions that don't do us any good. And what we're bringing to the table is the experience to say, look, we know that the addictions that you want to build are the addictions to your value, to your intentions, to your wellness. So make those your addictions, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's okay to be addicted to 6 cups of vegetables a day, right? Hey, it's actually good for you, right? So just make sure that your addictions are in the right place. Make sure that what you're focusing on. So I think, like, I see the benefit it's you and I coming together on this. I mean, we have
Absolutely.
passion for the leaders. We care. We understand. And because of that, I think we have elevated any journal that could have been written for leaders. So we've elevated the content in here in a huge way. And that's what I'm real excited about.
Right. And lastly, for me, I think one other thing that leaders will resonate with is what gets measured gets done.
Yeah.
So we've actually had feedback from leaders who've said it's difficult to find the time to write it down. But when I do, I find that I'm in alignment with my values, my purpose, and I'm in integrity, and I'm able to weed out all the noise. Guys, no is a complete sentence. Back to boundaries, back to the beginning of this whole conversation.
Yep.
You know, it's really okay to sift through and pick out those gems that really need the focus and let the rest go.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that, you know, our passion is able to deliver with the journal is, you know, that support that I think leaders need so greatly right now.
Yeah. And I would say last, the benefit, as far as I say, and it's the focus. I mean, we focused on a process, a methodology that makes sense, right? It's not disjointed. It is very flowing. It's easy to move from thing to thing. And I don't know about you, Kathy, but having used it myself, like I want to pick it up and do it, right? So the way it's set up is each page is a day. So we're not asking you to do like 10 things. It's just one page per day. But what I find in some cases is that I want to do 2 or 3 pages at that moment. And that's okay too, right? You can use a journal and however you want to use it. Not only that, we've set it up that if you want to go right to wellness, it's not going to hurt you, right? You can go right to wellness. You're not going to lose anything by going right to wellness, right? If you want to go to a certain section, you can go start there if that's the most important. Now, we encourage you to start at the beginning because we set up a process, but that doesn't mean you'll lack any benefits by starting at a different part. So for me, there's that flexibility that I really like. And like you said, there's the prompts, there's the questions, there's thoughtful. It's not just a quote and a line of paper, which I typically just stare at and go, what am I supposed to write today, right? But this is really focused. So I think, that I'm really excited about that. Just the focus. You and I coming together to do this. Who knew when we walked away in Scottsdale, Arizona, so many years ago, we looked at each other and said, one day we're going to work together. Little did we know how big it was going to be. So, this has been just an exciting journey with you, Kathy. And I'm so excited you said yes. Yes also is a complete sentence. And you said yes. And off we went. So thank you. Thank you for going on the journey with me.
My goodness, thank you. And for inviting me into, you know, your journey and because you've done some amazing things. And I feel like, you know, our partnership is just one more thing that you can add to your list, you know. And I also think maybe we should speak a little bit to kind of where we are, because you and I don't like go have coffee or sit next to each other either. We're sitting 5-6 states away. And we connect virtually too. And we've got a couple hour time zone difference. So many of the things that our leaders are struggling with, I won't say struggle because we really didn't. It's really flowed. You and I partner together so beautifully. It's just been a dream. You're my dream team.
But, and you're my dream team. So that's good.
Oh, it's true. I mean, it's just like minds, you know, we're very, very much in sync with that. But it's just another testament to you can do this. You can, and you can use all the tools and technology. Tools and technology can be wonderful and they can help you grow. They can also be detrimental. And so it's really important to find that balance. And again, work-life balance is huge in this as well.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead. I jumped in.
Please.
I was so eager to share something. I jumped in. I apologize.
Please do.
We forgot to tell them about the added value benefit, the extra oomph they've given, the extra stuff. At the end of the journal, we have a list of resources, but not only that, we have dropped the resources on a website so you can go use them. You need to register, you need to sign up, and you now have access to all the tools. So you looked at the Wheel of Life, You can print it out 100 times if you want. It's there for you, right? We have an Excel document that talks about tracking, certain habits throughout the day. You can download it. It's yours. So we have YouTube videos that we found that have great resources. We have books. And there's just a ton of resources. If you want to dig in more, we forgot to tell them that. How cool is that, Kathy?
Well, we got a little focused on the journal because we're in love with it. But yeah, the resources, references, and tools are amazing. And the other thing too is Barbara and I will continue to add to that. So it is constantly evolving. You will be getting new materials as we load them, and it's constantly growing. So you're able to reach out to either of us and connect, or use the tools for your teams or whatever you find beneficial.
Absolutely. We're here in many different capacities, and between the two of us, again, we've got a lot of just great practical, successful experience in coaching and driving teams and supporting organizations and creating change. So yeah, we're here for that as well if you need additional help. But again, this has been a great opportunity for two great minds to come together and work together and provide a service and a tool in a time when people need it the most, when leaders need it the most. And so we'll be back. We'll be sharing some more information. We'll do some more videos later, but we just wanted to introduce it to you today. So thank you so much for joining us. And
available on Amazon. So just pop in either the title or either of our two names, and I'm sure there'll be a link for you to direct connect to go ahead and pick up a copy, but you won't be sorry. It's labor of love and really beneficial.
Yep. Great. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it.